Hello, everybody. And we are live, hopefully. Let me know in the comment if it's also hot weather, because I'm based in Berlin and I'm burning. So if I'm start sweating during the live stream, it's completely normal. But say hi in the chat if you are around with us this morning, tonight, and say where you are joining from. And this is kind of a special episode today because I'm flying solo. Might be a shorter episode than an hour, but I wanted to share with you some updates regarding DuckDB and MotherDuck, but also give you some tips if you are into DuckDB and also any other related data content. How do you keep up with all the information, and how do I keep up? So I'll share a lot of resource today on how you can keep up with the different things around DuckDB, but also just in data in general. But please don't leave me alone because I'm alone for this live stream. So I have a hi from hello from Mexico, Hector, nice, and Grégory Farush, hi from France, France. So nice to have you. So we already have two people, and I'm not sure why the chat display is not working, but we do have people, and that's beautiful. Anyway, so what I wanted to start with is basically kind of like, as I said, how do I keep up with DuckDB content? Because actually I get that question often, which, people are following me because I stay myself up to date, and then I basically, um, kind of like filter the content and share with the others. So I'll give you some tips, and let's start first with I think for DuckDB itself, um, a GitHub repository. Let me share my screen. There you go. So this GitHub repository, which is awesome DuckDB, is really great if you want to just have a single place with all the resource around DuckDB. So you have specific documentation tools that's been powered by DuckDB, web client libraries, but also a knowledge to learn. So around media, um, and courses, blog posts. So that's also a great start. It just reached 1,000 stars this weekend. So congrats, David, if you're with us tonight. That's amazing. And so I invite you to look at this one. I'll share directly in the chat. Would it be you are on YouTube? Hi, Giovanni. So we have Giovanni from Namibia. Wow, that's already pretty far from me. So as I said, this GitHub repository is a great start if you want to learn more about DuckDB in general. It's getting updated often. You see there was one thing added yesterday. Another thing that would highly recommend you to check out, and of course I'm a bit biased because I'm working on MotherDuck, but this is actually a community newsletter, and we try to, as much as possible, give the voice to the community. So if you want to actually participate to the writing of this DuckDB newsletter, you're more than welcome. You can ping us or ping me directly. But basically, the DuckDB newsletter has been running for more than a year, and what we do is basically gather the top links of the month, so blog, video, whatsoever. We highlight the community member that has been a great contributor or did an interesting project or blog, and we give you information about the upcoming events. And those events are really large. It's not because it's on the MotherDuck website. it's really all kind of events related to DuckDB, talks done by people, etc., etc. So this is a really good place. So this was the last edition. You see, you have always a link to the blog, a small comment, and so we usually do 10 links. The last one was written by Simon Spatty. Shout out to him. Was really great to collaborate with him. If you want to collaborate to this with this newsletter, let us know. We had a couple of other guest writer for this one. So that's the second source of information. So the repository, the DuckDB newsletter, and what do I have as a third one? Let me go to my lists. My mouse is getting shaky. And I'm curious also, if you're joining us, letting me know, how do you keep up with DuckDB contents, or data content in general? I'll be curious to know. Maybe I'm missing something completely obvious, but I would be curious that you share with me. So the second point is also actually on the MotherDuck website, and it's the events page. So the events page basically gather in, as I said, like the different events that we are doing around DuckDB, so that both DuckDB Labs or individual other company webinar. So we try to list there. We don't have a submission form, and we're gonna fix that pretty soon, so that if you have also an event, please reach out, and there will be an online form for you to fill in, so that basically you can also add your events that you want to highlight around DuckDB. So that's a third one. The fourth one resource for DuckDB, I just started. I'm curious if you are using daily.dev. Daily.dev is actually, if I open my browser, basically this is what you can see from daily.dev, and I'm following specific tags around also web development, Rust, and DuckDB information, and they also use RSS feed, so you can find back in MotherDuck blog too. If I search here, and you see you have some of them are votes, some and there is comment. So it's kind of like a community thing around new content. Daily.dev, it's an app that I've been using for a while, and so they introduce a squad, which is basically a notion where you regroup people. At the moment, I just started it, and you see I already share a couple of specific blogs as soon as they basically release. So today I share this one, which was released on the DuckDB website, done by Mark, to explain how memory management is done in DuckDB. And so this is also something I invite you to join. So I'll actually share also that in the chat, daily.dev DuckDB squad. So if you're using a low edition from India, so if you are using a daily.dev, and again, that's it's not a sponsored product, by the way. This is just how personally I keep up with the content. If you don't know the app, I would really recommend to check it out. I think it's a really interesting concept, and so the point is that you can join the squad, and as the squad is growing, other people can contribute and share the links. All right, so that will be number 4, daily.dev. Another point to keep up with content is to join community Slack or Discord. So there is the Slack of MotherDuck, and there is the Discord of DuckDB. If you go to the Discord of DuckDB, you're gonna have some channel dedicated to sharing content, which is called show and tell. So let me DuckDB and MotherDuck Slack. and then I show you directly. All right, so that's sharing the chat. And so, yeah, on the Discord, let me open Discord quickly. You're gonna have a channel for sharing content. We do have on our channel also yeah, so I'm not sure what happened, uh, but yeah, my mic died for a second. Hopefully, you can hear me. You can hear me now. Uh, yeah, so it's coming back. Some yeah, maybe on the end. Yes, I do. It just took me a glad. I hope you're still around. And so the chat, the sound is back. Uh, just my wireless dying. Thanks for that. All right. So regarding the let me go back to the screen. So yeah, regarding the other way to get updated, so I was on the blogs. I basically cover most of those things. So just to summarize, you have the GitHub repository, you have the MotherDuck website with the blog and the events. You have the DuckDB website with the blogs, and you have also the daily.dev squad. I saw that a couple of you are already joined. That's awesome. And yeah, and the DuckDB newsletter itself. So if you go to community and DuckDB news, where we share monthly newsletter. So yeah, that's about it, about how to keep content with DuckDB, with DuckDB and MotherDuck. Now I want to basically give you some update on what's actually new in those two. And I think, so I have a couple of points in my list. The first thing I want to talk is actually the community extension. So DuckDB has extension, right? And I'm gonna start actually with this project I built already a year ago, which is a bit broken, but that's something else. So DuckDB has extension, which is supported by DuckDB Labs, and they have also extension, which is built by community. You can extend the extension to do various things. And the challenge is that it's really difficult to have visibility on what people build. There is no really like an app store where people can see what kind of community extension there is. And also, so discoverability is a problem. And the other problem is that it's not easy for people to install and load application in opposite of like supported extension. So if you open the terminal and you install, I don't know, install AWS, for example, this is a supported extension that you have. By the way, I'm just opening the DuckDB CLI. If you are new to DuckDB, you can install the CLI with just brew install. I'm on macOS. Let me zoom this. That's better. And so the point is, you can see the extension here. That's the supported extension by DuckDB Labs, and they're really to install and load. But as soon as you have a community extension, you need to basically be able to build this extension and make it available. And then people need to download them, so they need to have the URL. And those start to be, you see where I'm going, a bit complicated to install a community extension until now. So DuckDB Labs released the community extension website and store. So how does it work is that you have a repository of the DuckDB extensions, which is there. And I'm gonna also take the time to share in the chat and to double check that yeah. Sorry for that. Let me increase the volume. That should be better. And I'm gonna increase also there. Yeah, it's my mic that just died in the live stream, of course. All right. So I was just mentioning the community extension. So you can go over there if you want to see basically yeah. Yeah, I tried my best to increase the volume, and maybe what I can do is also let me give something. I'm gonna do this. All right. Normally now that should be way loud. So coming back to the extensions, you have basically a repository here that where you can basically just do a PR if you have, you know, build an extension that you want to add to the store. And so you just follow a certain template. And basically what happened after is that you're going to have, it's going to be available and documented on their website. And so you see here we have a couple of community extension. For example, this one was built by Pedro actually from DuckDB Labs. And what it does is that you can get some data analysis, including from Ethereum. So here, for example, he is getting information about an Ethereum transfer. So if I want to install the extension, you see it's really easy. It's just install the name of the extension from community and you load it. So you don't need to have what we used to have in the past, where you need to have the link where the extension is hosted, download it, and then it's load it. And also upgrade is a bit painful, because if you change that URL, well, you need to have either the same constant URL or a new URL. So yeah, so let's just try it directly. So if I do this, you see the extension is loaded. I'm just checking here, and so we can copy paste, for example, this example. And we're gonna see that we're gonna be able to load from a given transaction blocks a timeline. So you have also stocks information. You can read a bit more on this community extension, but that's really a big major steps to kind of highlight the extension built by the community versus this project I did, which is really passive. I just scan from GitHub, and it's really not accurate because I look for a specific extension where if there is possibly a DuckDB extension. So hopefully we'll get more visibility over time of what the community is building, and also it helps you if you're looking for a specific extension. Probably look if someone else has built it. So yeah, so that's the one major news I would say around the DuckDB extensions. So the other big news I was a bit before is yeah, actually it's a personal plug. So I finished the DuckDB Stats, which is basically an end-to-end data engineering project. So if you're willing to learn DuckDB in different steps, so meaning you have you want to see how it works with Python, with the ingestion, transformation with dbt, that's a really good start. So if you go to DuckDB Stats, you're gonna have the live dashboard, which is the live results, right? So I'm gonna share that here. Also in the chat, if you want to check it out. But so here you're gonna be able to follow along. There is different blog series and video series. So if I go to the GitHub page, you have here the ingestion part, the transform part, and for each one there is a blog and a video. And this is basically the high level of the project, and basically now it's live. And so I would really recommend, if you're into learning DuckDB, that's a really fun project. And what it does basically, because I haven't done, just share the link, is that if you go here, what it provides you is the information of the downloads for each DuckDB Python package. So it's not only looking at the Python library, because DuckDB has different clients. And you see that we passed 1 million actually download per week now. So last week was already almost 1.2 million downloads. And you have different information about which Python version. And I found this really interesting, because you see that a lot of people are still running under Python 3.8, which is actually going to be end of support, end of life, basically in a couple of months. So yeah, that's one thing interesting that you can spot with those data, and you can do it with your own, with any Python package. So if you're interested to get some stats around other Python package, you're free to do so. You just need You just need basically to git clone the project, change so this project, change a couple of variables that specify not to have only the DuckDB package, but your given Python package, running the pipeline, and you get those statistics for this with the dashboard. So yeah, that's one big thing that happened last week. Other than that, on MotherDuck side now, so there's two things. We support now the Delta Lake extension. So if you're going into our docs, into integration, you have now a page regarding Delta Lake, which was an extension release supported just like 4 weeks back by DuckDB, and now it's available from MotherDuck. So if you have large table, for example, on S3 Delta Lake table, MotherDuck is a great use case, because then you can use the same DuckDB client, but you basically leverage the cloud, and as MotherDuck is on the cloud, the Delta scan is going to be much faster, right, rather than going to your local network. So yeah, so that's a really cool thing. The other thing is that now we support the spatial extension as well. So I'm gonna do a bit more content around this in the coming weeks. But so the spatial extension is a big extension actually in terms of usage around DuckDB, because it's really offer a new perspective when working with geospatial data, with what's actually available at the moment. So I would really also recommend to try to play around the spatial extension with MotherDuck. I'm sure you're gonna have a nice idea, but if you don't worry, I'll cover a couple of topics. And I've also, it's worth to note that we did a live stream around this itself. I'm gonna share it. It was with Matt, which is kind of the expert. You should definitely check out his YouTube channel if you're into spatial geodata. So yes, Gregory, my French, I'm actually, my mother tongue is French, but I'm not speaking French on an everyday basis. So my French is now a bit pretty bad, I would say, getting pretty bad. So yeah, this live stream on geospatial data, let me share also for the LinkedIn folks. I lost the page. But if you go on also the, yeah, here. Yeah, that's also a great resource, and invite you to try it out with MotherDuck. And by the way, MotherDuck has a feed here, so don't be scared. You can just go sign it up. It's really easy, and you won't break the bank. All right, so that's a bit for all the information on what's new. I want to close on two things. Is the blog. So what's up, what blogs news I really enjoyed these past weeks. So the first one is the one actually from Simon, again, is there, which is about loading from Postgre to Postgre faster using DLT. I think it's really interesting because so DuckDB has a native extension to connect to Postgres, right? You can easily query a Postgres database just using basically DuckDB. And a pattern, an interesting pattern that we can see now is basically if you need to either do a migration to a different Postgres, syncing from different database, doing some backup, or you doing some transformation in memory and you want to push it back to Postgres. So that's all different use cases which are really interesting. And so DLT help around that. But there is also, you can use native DuckDB. But I will share with you the blog here. So this is the first blog. And yeah, so that's one I really enjoyed. And the other news that I wanted to share is that there is a new book from Pact Publishing, Getting Started with DuckDB. So it's cool because we have a new author and a new book, because we have already an existing book which is going to be released soon, and you can have a free chapter, by the way, here. So that's the existing one. But as I said, you have also Getting Started with DuckDB from Pact Publishing, which is really interesting. So yeah, that was roughly it. So we covered kind of like this, right? What was how to get up to date with different news. So basically, you have the Awesome GitHub repository, you have the DuckDB newsletter by MotherDuck, the event page, the daily.dev, DuckDB squad, the Discord and Slack. You have the blogs. You have on news, we talked about the community extension, which is pretty neat. The project DuckDB Stats, if you want to learn an end-to-end project using DuckDB. We can read from Delta Lake using MotherDuck, yet there is a spatial extension. And finally, a couple of blogs and news. So yeah, that's about it. I'm curious if you did enjoy this format. I'm really sorry about the sound. It's of course the karma always with me. Well, my microphone needs to die during a live stream. But please let me know if you did enjoy this 30 minutes about news on DuckDB and MotherDuck. I'm happy to do it again with maybe a better sound without the microphone dying. And there is just a question from Gregory here. I'm wondering which is the best way to promote DuckDB and data tech team. Yeah, so I would say just start using it with the CLI. There is a lot of stuff that you can do with the CLI. If I reshare my screen quickly, you know, the installation, that's the cool thing with open source, right? It's like it's really accessible. So rather than selling it to say, yeah, you should use DuckDB because of this and that, just give like little use case. And little use case, so when you have the CLI, would be querying data from Parquet, for example, converting a file format from CSV to Parquet to CSV, or doing some parsing of a JSON file. So there is a lot of like, I would say one-shot task that sometimes you need to do as a data engineer or within a data team. And I think like just people getting started by using the CLI, it's a great way to start advocating for DuckDB. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Don't forget, Quack and Code is every other week. Again, let me know in the comment if you did enjoy this episode. And the next episode, we're gonna have someone from Databricks to talk about the Delta Lake extension and table format. So if you are new to table format, meaning Iceberg, Delta Lake are just like Chinese name to you, that would be a good place to go. And yeah, I'll look forward to that one. So I'll see you in 2 weeks. And until then,